What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Sunday, August 11th, 2024, and I have another emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now, it is 23:31 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from Russia. So, what you're looking at here is some fresh video footage coming out of Moscow from this evening, and you can see what appears to be Putin's emergency helicopter. So they're evacuating Putin from the Kremlin, and tomorrow, or actually later today, depending on what time zone you're in, Monday the 12th, Putin is going to be giving a worldwide address at 9 p.m. local time in Moscow. Okay, so that is at 2100 hours Moscow time, Monday, August the 12th. Putin will be giving some type of worldwide address. I think it has something to do with the Kursk situation. Ukraine has invaded Russia, and they are quickly advancing deeper and deeper into Russia. They have conquered probably half of the Kursk Oblast by now, and they're continuing to make gains even probably right now as you're watching this video. Okay, so Russia has lost control of the Kursk Oblast. The Ukrainian Air Force is now flying its fighter jets freely over the Kursk Oblast, and they're just within a few miles of downtown Kursk and the Kursk nuclear power plant. So Putin appears to have been evacuated from the Kremlin. Some people are saying that they're moving gold out of the Kremlin on these helicopters. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but this appears to be Putin's Marine One leaving the Kremlin earlier this evening. And apparently, Ukrainian drones are attacking the Chelykovsky Air Base in Moscow now, which is home to a number of Russian special mission aircraft, including Putin's doomsday planes, okay, and Putin's Air Force One. Let me play some video footage for you. Here we have Russian air defenses attempting to shoot down some of these Ukrainian drones. So that sounds like the Pantsir air defense system, which is basically like a really large machine gun. So this is absolutely insane, guys. And here we have video footage that was taken from the Kursk Oblast showing a Ukrainian Sukhoi 27 flying freely over the Kursk Oblast. Okay, Russia has lost air control or air dominance over their own territory, and this is extremely concerning because this is exactly the type of situation that Russia could use as an excuse to nuke Ukraine. We know that Russia has been doing tactical nuclear weapons exercises the last 2 months, and they're currently in phase 3 of their tactical nuclear weapons exercises. So they're ready to go. They're ready to launch. Okay, they have the Iskander missiles. They have all kinds of things that they can use. And unfortunately, I think that we could see this happen soon, maybe before the next president, most likely before the next president, if it is going to happen, because right now Putin knows that he's dealing with a lame duck president and a president that has shown fear to him. Okay, Biden has shown fear. The Western countries have shown fear. And so now is the perfect time for Putin to do this. He's not going to do it when Trump takes over, that's for sure, because Putin is scared of Trump. And so I am very, very concerned that he's suddenly giving a world address tomorrow. And he already had an emergency meeting with his chief of staff, Valery Gerasimov and his new defense minister earlier in the week. Okay. And before I continue with the breaking news, I wanted to mention the sponsor for this update, which is My Patriot Supply. Guys, My Patriot Supply is doing their most aggressive discount yet on their 3-month emergency food supply. And to get the deal, you got to go to preparewithNYPrepper.com. They've lowered the price of their 3-month food supply from $800 down to $500. 3 months of emergency food for $500. That is a really good deal, and it will last you 25 years because it is freeze dried and it's all packed within 6 rugged water resistant buckets. So you have all that food in a small package. You can store that pretty much anywhere. And you can also take it with you. If you have to bug out, you can throw that in your vehicle easily. So use the link preparewithNYPrepper.com to get $300 off the My Patriot Supply 3-month emergency food supply, $500 for it. Also, they have free shipping and handling included. In addition to the 3-month supply, they also have a general store. And to get to their general store, you got to scroll all the way down to the bottom and you'll see the My Patriot Supply logo at the very bottom of the page. You click on that and it'll take you to their general store, and they have all kinds of discounts. And to get the deals, you got to use my link, preparewithNYPrepper.com, and I'll leave the link in the description below this video. We're hearing that electricity has now been cut off in the Graveron district in Russia along the border with Ukraine. And remember, 76,000 Russians have been evacuated from the Kursk Oblast. That is a significant number of Russians, okay? Now, the International Atomic Energy Agency commented on the situation in Zaporizhia nuclear power plant earlier today. There was this video footage that came out showing a fire coming from one of the cooling towers at the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. Now, we don't know exactly why this fire is burning. We don't know what's burning. Okay, some people were saying that there were tires that were burning. I personally don't believe that. Maybe the Russians just piled up a bunch of tires in there and decided to burn them just to scare the Ukrainians and kind of warn the Ukrainians, listen, if you keep pushing into Kursk or you try to take that nuclear power plant in Kursk, we can melt down this entire power plant. Maybe they're trying to scare the Ukrainians. I don't know. Okay. Or maybe it's just, Russian troops being Russian troops and not thinking and just using this cooling tower as a giant burn barrel and just piling a bunch of trash in there and setting it on fire. I mean, it could be as innocent as that, or it could be as serious as them trying to warn the Ukrainians, listen, we can burn this whole thing down and melt down this whole power plant and you'll have a Chernobyl on steroids again. So I don't know what's going on here, but this is very concerning. The IAEA said that radiation levels are normal and that they are monitoring the situation. And they said that there were at least 2 kabooms reported near this cooling tower earlier today. So this is an extremely serious situation. Here we have a picture of Russian soldiers that were captured by Ukrainian soldiers in the Kursk Oblast. Apparently, they've captured as many as 1,000 Russian soldiers, including the famous Akhmat forces of Chechnya. These are the Chechen special forces, the brutal Chechens that fought in Bakhmut. Apparently, the Ukrainians captured a whole bunch of them that were sent there. Okay, so Ukraine is unstoppable now. They are on fire, okay, and they are blitzkrieging the Kursk Oblast, and Russia cannot stop them, okay? Here we have a picture from the Institute for the Study of War showing an estimated extent of their occupation of the Kursk Oblast. And they have this write-up here. Let me read to you what the Institute for the Study of War is saying about this. Ukraine's operation in Kursk Oblast has allowed Ukrainian forces to at least temporarily seize the battlefield initiative in one area of the front line and contest Russia's theater-wide initiative. Okay, so Russia has been basically winning the last year or so. Okay, they've been making small gains. They took Bakhmut, they took Avdiivka. They're expanding more from the Donetsk area. Now, with this situation, Ukraine is starting to turn the tables around, okay, and they're starting to regain the theater-wide initiative. Russia's possession of the theater-wide initiative since November 2023 has allowed Russia to determine the location, time, scale, and requirements of fighting in Ukraine and forced Ukraine to expend material and manpower in reactive defensive operations. The Ukrainian operation in Kursk Oblast, however, has forced the Kremlin and Russian military command to react and redeploy forces and means to the sector where Ukrainian forces have launched attacks. Russian forces were notably not conducting active operations in Kursk Oblast. Russia has been leveraging its possession of the theater-wide initiative to pressure Ukraine in an attempt to prevent Ukrainian forces from accumulating manpower and material for future counteroffensive operations while determining a tempo of fighting that would allow Russian forces to sustain consistent ongoing offensive operations. Putin and the Russian military command likely assessed that Ukraine lacked the capability to contest the initiative, and Ukraine's ability to achieve operational surprise and contest the theater-wide initiative is challenging the operational and strategic assumptions underpinning current Russian offensive efforts in Ukraine. The Ukrainian operation in Kursk Oblast and further possible Ukrainian cross-border incursions force a decision point on the Kremlin and the Russian military command about whether to view the 1,000-kilometer international border with northeastern Ukraine as a legitimate front line that Russia must defend instead of a dormant area of the theater as they have treated since the fall of 2022. Moscow's response may require the Russian military command to consider the manpower and material requirements for defending the international border as part of its theater-wide campaign design and can therefore impose long-term operational planning constraints that Russia previously did not face. So they're basically just saying, in a very fancy worded way, Ukraine has opened a new front. Okay, they've opened a new front along Russia's border. Russia did not expect it. Okay, and now Russia is going to have to redeploy forces and resources there, and they can't just focus all their efforts on the eastern and southern part of Ukraine, which is what they've been doing. Okay, so they caught Russia by surprise, and we have some major breaking news coming in from the Pentagon. So we have this press release that just came out this evening. It's a summary of Lloyd Austin's phone call with Yoav Gallant, the Israeli defense minister. And it says here that Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin has ordered the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group, equipped with F-35C fighter jets, to accelerate its transit to the Central Command area of responsibility, adding to the capabilities already provided by the USS Theodore Roosevelt Carrier Strike Group. Additionally, the Secretary has ordered the USS Georgia guided missile submarine to the Central Command region. Okay, so confirming here that they are sending another aircraft carrier strike group to the region equipped with F-35s. Now, that's in addition to, and then it also says here that Lloyd Austin did order the USS Georgia to the Central Command region. Okay, that's the Ohio-class boomer. Okay, a boomer is a slang word for a nuclear-armed submarine. The USS Georgia is one of 4 boomers that have been fitted with Tomahawk missiles, 154 of them, which could either be conventional or nuclear. We just don't know. Okay, they could be partially nuclear or fully nuclear or fully conventional and not nuclear at all, we don't know, but the Tomahawk missile is nuclear capable. Okay, so the USS Georgia has 154 Tomahawk missiles. We know that they're sending 2 more guided missile destroyers in addition to the 3 that have already been dispatched with the Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group. They're sending another carrier strike group. Okay, so you got the Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group plus 2 guided missile destroyers with F-35s on board. You have an entire squadron of F-22s, up to 24 F-22s going to the Middle East. We've seen some reports that B-2s landed in Qatar 2 weeks ago. We know that F-18s have arrived in the Middle East as well. And then we also have the USS Georgia. So a massive amount of firepower being moved into the Middle East. This is absolutely huge news. And tonight, Hezbollah launched what appears to be a probing attack on Israel. Here you can see the Israeli Iron Dome being overwhelmed, and it does appear that some of these rockets or drones that Hezbollah launched at Israel did get through the Iron Dome. So these are probing attacks. This is not part of the actual attack. This is a probing attack. They're testing Israel's defenses, okay? Think of this as like a jab in a boxing match, okay? In the first round, when the opponents are sizing each other up, they usually start throwing jabs to see what the other person is capable of, how they move and whatnot. And then rounds 2, 3, 4, and on is when you start throwing in the hooks and uppercuts, okay? Once you figure out how your opponent reacts and what their defenses are like.
أزكى شيخ دنون نفازيف
ولعت
So this is absolutely insane, guys. This is biblical. Okay, to see Israel coming under attack like this is just surreal. This is literally coming straight out of the Bible. Okay, the Bible says in the end times, before Jesus returns, Israel would come under attack. Okay, and we're seeing that now. And what you're looking at here are these massive concrete shields that Israel has put up around their generators at hospitals. This is in the Shari Tzedek Hospital in Jerusalem. These are 5-meter tall shields designed to protect the generators from missiles. Okay, so they are expecting a very serious strike, and Axios is reporting that Israeli Minister of Defense Yoav Gallant spoke on Sunday with U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, who told him Iranian military preparations suggest Iran is getting ready for a large-scale attack, okay? So this contrasts what the mainstream media has been telling us the last week. The mainstream media has been saying, oh, Iran is backing down. They're afraid of the U.S. response. They're going to minimize their attack, and Putin has asked Iran not to attack, which is just a bunch of BS, okay? It's just to make you feel good so people don't panic. They don't want the sheeple to panic, so they're telling people what they want to hear. Yeah, it's not going to be a big deal. It's going to be a small strike. Guys, come on. This is not going to be a minor situation. This is going to be a major attack, okay? Last time when Iran was getting ready to strike Israel, we did not move anywhere near the amount of hardware as we're moving now. Okay, we're moving an entire aircraft carrier strike group to the region. We moved an entire squadron of F-22s. Okay, we don't have that many F-22s, guys. And the strike group that's coming has F-35s on board. We moved an entire boomer over there with 154 Tomahawk missiles. We moved F-18s. So it's going to be a massive strike. It's not going to be one night. They said it over and over. This is going to be a multi-day event. This is going to be an Iranian shock and awe against Israel. And Israeli intelligence has already said that they believe that Iran is going to launch a massive strategic level strike. Okay, last time when they struck Israel in April, that was not strategic. That was operational or even tactical. Okay, this is going to be a strategic attack on Israel designed to cripple them, to attack their government buildings, okay, the parliament building, the prime minister's office, Mossad headquarters, military bases, seaports, airports, gas platforms. This is a comprehensive strike, guys. This is not some minor thing, okay? And Israel's not going to sit around and do nothing regardless of what the Biden administration tells them to do. They're not going to sit back and do nothing. That's literally, a full-scale attack, okay, to completely destroy the country, cripple it, and demilitarize it. That's what Iran wants to do, okay? So this is going to escalate. Israel's going to respond. America's probably going to get involved. I would hope we would get involved. If Israel's going to go after them, we should back Israel up, okay? And the Israeli army is now asking its soldiers to leave Georgia and Azerbaijan immediately. And here we have some video footage of retired General Frank McKenzie on CBS News Face the Nation saying that he thinks the attack by Hezbollah is hours, maybe days, not weeks away. Okay, so let me play this for you. This is very interesting, some good insights here.
General, we've talked a number of times in recent months, and the scenario you have flagged as the most concerning is one it seems we are on the brink of, and that is Lebanese Hezbollah entering this conflict potentially in a significant way. How do you characterize where we are right now?
Margaret, I think we are hours, maybe days, not weeks away from Lebanese Hezbollah entering this fight. And that's always been the big variable. They are the largest non-state military entity in the world, a parasite on Lebanon, but they have tens and tens of thousands of highly accurate rockets and missiles, and they can challenge Israel in a way that Iran, and the Houthis for that matter, are unable to do so because of their geographic proximity, because of the number of weapons that they have. And that's very concerning. I've thought all along the most dangerous turn in events would be if they chose to enter at scale. Now, Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of Lebanese Hezbollah, has got to make a very strategic decision on this because he will be open to a withering Israeli counterattack should he choose to enter at great scale. And what would great scale be? Don't know. I would say if he chooses to attack Israeli population centers. I would say if significant casualties are caused by a Hezbollah attack, that will bring the IDF back in with great force. And he recognizes that. And the last point I just make is Hassan Nasrallah and Lebanese Hezbollah are perhaps weaker in Lebanon now than they've been in many years because of the destruction of the economy, the fact that the country's in governmental gridlock, lots of problems in Lebanon that he has to think about before he chooses to fight Israel toe-to-toe.
So very interesting. And Russia has issued a NOTAM for all Russian pilots, telling Russian pilots to avoid entering Israeli airspace until August the 16th from 0100 to 0700 hours local time in Israel. Okay, so over the next 5 days. And the Islamic Resistance in Iraq, which is the largest Iranian proxy in the Middle East, has issued a threat to U.S. forces in the Middle East, saying that our response will not be limited if the U.S. assists with defending Israel or with strikes on Iraq and Iran. Okay, so the proxy saying they're going to attack our military bases if we defend Israel or participate in any retaliatory strikes. But that's the latest breaking news that I have. This is very, very serious, and I'm very curious what Putin will say tomorrow. I will be monitoring all of these events, and if anything serious happens, I will be providing you with live coverage. I do have a 24/7 live stream, and you can come in and hang out and exchange information there. I have the nuclear forces radio frequencies in the background. I have flight trackers and other information that I update throughout the day. Sometimes I come in there and chat. So I'll either see you there or I'll see you on the next update, which will be tomorrow on Monday. And just get prepared, guys. Okay, things are really getting crazy between Ukraine and Russia and in the Middle East. So until the next time, take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere. Culinary out.